Dreaming of a fresh start in a new state? It's an exciting adventure, but before you hit the road, you need to know that some destinations are facing many issues. This video will unveil 10 states that are going downhill. From economic hurdles to environmental concerns, we'll explore the factors you might want to consider before you move. Now, not everyone relocates for the same reason, but some of the most common reasons are job markets, affordability, slower pace of life, and climate. And this list will go through each one of these topics so you can understand where they stand. Now, you might think some of these states are the best, and that's okay. There isn't one right or wrong answer. Each state has its pros and cons. The reasons explained here are some big reasons why people are leaving these states and things you need to be aware of. Ready to get started? Let's go. Number 10, Nevada. Nevada might be tempting with its bright lights and exciting entertainment, but there are some challenges to consider before you move. The tourism industry, a major source of income for the state, is still down since the pandemic, but it is coming back slowly. For example, 40.8 million people visited Las Vegas last year, which is a 5.2% increase over 2022. The record annual visits is 42.9 million in 2016. 42.5 million visited in 2019, the last year before the pandemic. Now, why is this important? Well, tourism is what really drives the state. If tourism is down, it affects everyone in the state, from businesses that bring in less revenue to jobs in the area to tax revenue. Another concern is water scarcity. Nevada is a desert state, and water is a precious resource. Limited water supplies could impact everything from maintaining parks and lawns to future development. Residents might also face stricter regulations on water usage in the future. Finally, buying a house in Nevada has become more expensive in recent years. The housing market has seen a significant rise in prices, with the median home price jumping from around $300,000 to $320,000 in 2020 to $432,764 in 2024. This increase can make Nevada a less affordable option for some homebuyers. Number 9, New York. New York might be the city that never sleeps, but affording it might leave you exhausted. From soaring house prices to heavy taxes, New York can be a financially demanding place to live. First off, the cost of living in New York is notoriously high, especially in the city. Whether it's rent, groceries, or getting around town, you can expect to shell out a pretty penny. Adding to the financial strain is the heavy tax burden that New Yorkers face. The state has the highest tax burden in America and has a state income tax rate at 10.9%, and property tax rates are insane as well at 2.24%. Let's just run some of the numbers for example. Let's say you make $146,200, which is the average median household income in New York City. And let's say you own a $617,955 home, which is the average in Suffolk County in Long Island. And New York City's average home price is almost 20% higher. But back to our example. Just for taxes, you would roughly be spending $8,744 in state income tax and another $14,028 in property tax. Similar to other states, New York faces challenges with its aging infrastructure, roads, bridges, and public transportation system, and they're showing their wear and tear. This can lead to traffic, congestions, delays, and potential safety concerns. Congestion and traffic is all over the place, no matter where you're driving from in the city, on the Cross Bronx Expressway, the George Washington Bridge, to the Sunrise Highway in Long Island. Not only that, but in 2019, New York passed a bail reform law that eliminated cash bail for most. This reform aims to prevent people from being jailed pre-trial simply because they couldn't afford bail, and it's a joke. A couple of simple Google searches will show you multiple people assaulting elderly people, women, and more. These people are then arrested, booked, and then released within the same day. And then they do it again to someone else. Now, this isn't every single person, but it's happening enough to where you can start to see it, and why you can understand this is not a good idea. Policies like this make it dangerous and unsafe. This is another reason why New York in the past few years has seen some of the most people leave the state for good, with 102,000 people just last year fleeing. Now, real quick, before we move to number 8, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss a new video from us. And also, make sure to hit that like button. Number 8, Arkansas. Arkansas is enticing with its stunning scenery and friendly southern charm. However, there are some challenges currently with the state. Poverty and income inequality are significant issues in Arkansas. The state has one of the highest poverty rates in the nation, and there's a substantial gap between the rich and the poor. This can impact the overall quality of life for many residents. Arkansas has a median income rate of $56,335, which is the third lowest in the country. However, it has the second lowest cost of living. Many parts of Arkansas are rural, and while this means a lower cost of living and beautiful natural surroundings, it can also mean fewer job options compared to the urban areas. Additionally, brain drain can be a concern, with educated young people leaving the state to pursue opportunities elsewhere. Lastly, Arkansas has a very high crime rate, and although crime rates can vary depending on the specific location, the state ranks in the top 5 for most dangerous states. Some major cities such as Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Pine Bluff all rank among the most dangerous cities in the United States. Number 7, Illinois. Illinois boasts a rich history and cultural significance, but it's currently grappling with some financial challenges. Illinois faces a significant burden of debt, including massive pension liabilities. This can impact the state's ability to invest in essential services and infrastructure. While crime rates vary throughout the state, some major Illinois cities experience high crime rates. It's important to research specific crime statistics for the city or area you are considering. With that being said, in 2023, Illinois abolished cash bail for most offenses, as well as New York. So again, people who assault others are literally released back onto the street within the same day. Illinois is also experiencing a population decline, with residents leaving for other states, with most telling us they are fed up with the taxes, crime, weather, and policies like the no cash bail. Number 6, New Mexico. New Mexico captivates visitors with its stunning landscapes and rich cultural heritage. However, there are some key points as to why it's going downhill. New Mexico has lower educational attainment levels compared to the national average. In fact, according to the National Center for Education Statistics, in 2021, only 27.4% of adults in New Mexico held an associate degree or higher, compared to the national average of 42.5%. This educational gap can limit job opportunities and career advancement for some residents, potentially impacting their future economic prospects. New Mexico is unfortunately one of the least educated states according to WalletHub, ranking 42nd. Not only that, but data shows to us that 76% of 4th graders and 79% of 8th graders are not proficient in reading. More than 25% of high school students do not graduate on time, and nearly 12% of teenagers are neither in school nor working. This brings us to the next topic, which is poverty and crime. New Mexico has higher than average crime rates, particularly violent crime, with Albuquerque being ranked as one of the most dangerous cities in the country. The violent crime rate in Albuquerque, New Mexico is 72.7% higher than the state average and 246.5% higher than the national average. Number 5, Alaska. Alaska is a massive state with a tiny population. That means stunning scenery and wide open spaces, but also fewer stores and amenities compared to most places. Being isolated has its pros and cons. Another thing to know is that Alaska's economy depends a lot on oil. When oil prices are high, things are good. When prices drop, it's a challenge for the state. So the economy can be a bit up and down. The weather, if you're not used to the cold, will definitely shock you as well. For example, the hottest month in Alaska is July, with a daily average temperature that sits around only 67 degrees. The biggest challenge Alaska faces might be the shift in climate. With our planet warming up, the ground in Alaska, which is normally frozen solid, is melting. Sea levels are rising too, and animal habitats are changing. This can affect everything from roads and buildings to the wildlife you might see. It's also one of the most expensive places to live in the country, ranking 6th highest cost of living. The cost of living in Alaska is 30% higher than the national average. Housing is 17% higher than the national average. Number 4, Hawaii. Tourism is a major part of Hawaii's economy, but too much of a good thing can have downsides. With millions of visitors each year, there can be a strain on infrastructure like roads and energy resources. Environmental damage to delicate ecosystems is also a concern. The pressure of tourism can also lead to a decline in traditional Hawaiian culture. Recent wildfires have caused damage and pose a threat to some communities. On top of that, the high cost of living in Hawaii can make it tough for locals to afford. The state income tax rate is one of the highest in the nation, currently at 11% for the highest earners. Housing prices are also very high, with the average home price of around $858,000. Since it is an island, food and transportation costs are much higher as well, with food being an average 11% higher than it is on the mainland. Lastly, with rising sea levels, coastal communities in Hawaii face a very real threat: increased frequency of extreme weather events which can cause damage to property, disrupt lives, and threaten the natural beauty of the island. Number 3, Minnesota. Minnesota has actually been losing residents for the past 7 years. This population decline is partly due to the people moving to states with warmer climates, especially young people seeking a break from the harsh winters. A 2022 study by the University of Minnesota found that over 60% of Minnesota residents who move out of the state cite the weather as the reason. The state's long, cold winters can be brutal, with temperatures regularly dipping below freezing and significant snowfall. This can make it difficult and expensive to get around, and it can also impact people's physical and mental health. Job opportunities and a lower cost of living are also factors as to why people are moving. Number 2, California. Thinking California is sunshine and beaches all the time? While it has an undeniable beauty, there are some things to consider before packing your bags. Like some of the other states mentioned, California has no cash bail policies in place. The state also has a very high tax rate, with the highest income taxes in the nation. The top earners pay a whopping 13.3% in state income tax on top of federal income taxes. There's also a high sales tax, currently averaging around 8.25%. Factor in property taxes and the overall cost of living, and California living is pricey. The average California home value is $783,665, with Los Angeles homes averaging $1.2 million. California faces a significant challenge with homelessness, with a population estimated to be over 180,000, according to 2023 reports by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. With all that being said, California is also seeing many people finally give in and move out for good, with 75,423 residents just last year leaving for good. Number 1, New Jersey. New Jersey is known for its high cost of living. It has the third highest state income tax in the nation, currently at 8.9% for the highest earners. Property taxes are also the highest in the country at 2.26%, adding another burden to residents. New Jersey is one of the most densely populated states in the US, meaning, you guessed it, it's crowded. This can translate to crowded living spaces, busy roads, and a feeling of not having much elbow room. New Jersey also has a number of Superfund sites, areas designated by the Environmental Protection Agency as contaminated with hazardous waste. While cleanup efforts are ongoing, these cities can be a concern for some residents. Additionally, concerns have been raised about potential regulatory negligence regarding environmental protection. And there you have it, the 10 states that are going downhill in 2024 and 2025. Remember, every state has its unique charm and quirks. You just have to figure out which one is best for you. The key is to find a place that aligns with your priorities and lifestyle preferences. Now it's your turn. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video for more videos. See you in the next one.